Hello, hello, hello. What is up, my virtual friends and fanatics? Welcome to the ODP. That is the Oddly Dodd podcast. This is your ultimate hangout for all things sports, hobby, hype, and the fan life that you live and breathe. That's right. My name is Jason, here with my twin brother Josh, and every week we will be diving headfirst into the crazy world of sports and all things collectibles. We hope to have some jaw-dropping highlights, some insane fan moments in the fantasy league drama, and even the collectibles you've been dying to get your hands on. And let's not forget, we want to see some of that odd stuff out there, because after all, this is the ODP. If it's got a crowd, a scoreboard, a collector's market, we're talking about it. Football, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, baseball, whatever it is that gets your adrenaline pumping, we're here for it, and we're here for you. Plus, we're going to be bringing in some fan stories, hot takes, and some hobby hacks, and definitely a few wild debates along the way. And let's not forget to keep it random, because after all, this is the ODP where there is no such thing as too much passion. So get out your jersey, crack that drink, and let's get this game day party started. Welcome to the ODP.
ODP. Nice.
Hey,
what's going on?
Cut that out a little rough.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm new at this or something. I don't know what it is.
It's
my body is tired. I've been working out like crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever.
I actually just got back from wrestling practice. So we have some open mat right now. So getting the kids out there, start rolling around a little bit and getting them warmed up. So before the season starts in full swing.
Yeah. Nice.
Wait, you've got a youngin' going to a camp or something?
It's a UNC combine. So they're doing a wrestling combine where there's like 10 schools or something like that, 10 or 11 schools.
That's awesome.
From D1 all the way down. And he gets to go wrestle in front of a whole bunch of colleges. And it's set up kind of like a job fair. And so you get to interview and talk with. Yeah, man.
How'd y'all hear about that?
It's through the wrestling program. The coach had something that he's been shopping for.
Okay.
So yeah, it's super exciting because might as well start the looks now, right?
Right. No, honestly, wrestling is one of those things that, like any sport, with soccer, it's the amount of touches. With golf, it's the amount of swings. With wrestling, it's mat time. And that's hard to come by these days. It's getting slimmer and slimmer. It's really hard to make progress when you don't have any time on the mat. So that is amazing that he's doing that. I can't wait. I'm going to, since it's right next to home, I'm going to go out there and check out and see what that's all about.
Yeah, man. So that's
awesome.
It's really cool, man. And we're starting off the new season though. Supposed to have our first scrimmage even for football this Friday. So it's supposed to
season, right?
It is back.
I'm ready.
Man.
I can't wait for it to be back.
Last week, I think we mentioned something on Thursday. We had like the first preseason opener and everything like that for the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame game.
It's just football thrown around. And if you had the NFL Network, you could watch it live. You could get the stats update if you didn't.
Right.
But you play a lot of depth in there. And we got to see Trey Lance throw a ball or a couple.
All these week one early games. We're going to see some snaps for some top people, but honestly, it's nothing big. So
no, it's not. This is just kind of, just getting the fire started, kicking it in, and just kind of Trey Lance was first round, and now he's, drafted on his third team, or he's playing for his third team, I think, or fourth team.
Yeah.
Something like that. 1, 2, 3, third team. And he did really well considering, like I said, he had a pretty good passer rating. He had pretty good completion. He didn't throw any interceptions, threw 2 touchdowns. We got to see DJ Ugalele. So we got to see DJ Ugalele throw a few passes, just a couple. Got to see Hendon Hooker throw a couple. He got a touchdown himself. Nope. That's wrong. The Lions didn't do well. They lost 34. So, but no touchdowns by Hendon, just an interception.
I'm still holding on to those cards. I've said it in a couple podcasts before, I'm sure, but multiple. I don't know why. I'm holding on for the hopes that this kid comes up and does something special.
Is the time for him to really set himself apart.
Yeah, I
He, I
know
mean,
it. I know it.
he went 3 for 6 on 18 yards and 1 interception.
This is exciting. We're getting back into fantasy. And so just to kind of let everyone know some updates.
I gotta add, I gotta say, like, it's kind of interesting how you see certain teams that do so well year after year after year. Like, of course, the Yankees, right? Yankees are always one of those followed teams, and they're right there middle of their division. I mean, it's actually kind of shocking because I didn't even follow well, neither did you. But our team, the Twins,
The Twins.
they aren't doing so great. They're 11 games behind in their division.
Yeah.
But you got Detroit Tigers at the top of their league, right? And Milwaukee Brewers, actually, and I haven't heard that name in so long, but the Milwaukee Brewers are on a 5-game win streak right now. And they're at the top of the whole major league right now. Like, Milwaukee Brewers are leading the pack, which
Wow.
I, I
That's
know. I don't ever hear that.
amazing.
I know.
Fun story. Whenever I think of the Brewers, I can't help but think of the movie Basketball. The Milwaukee
God,
Beers.
the
I love
Milwaukee
it.
Bears. The basketball
If you
was one of
haven't
the best
seen it,
movies.
go watch that throwback
Gotta
of a
see it.
basketball movie. It's good,
Gotta
stupid
see it.
fun. It'll kill
It
some
is.
brain cells, but my goodness, I love the creators of South Park.
Yep, South Park creators, and they did a phenomenal job. But and I guess some other news, which is kind of funny. We're going to have some good looks, which will go right into fantasy, the 15 on fantasy. But we're having some good looks also for the starting quarterbacks that are going to roll out on week 1 preseason openers.
Yep.
We're going to
Yep.
see what Aaron Rodgers does.
We are.
We're going to see what he does. JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy, that's been the big buzz too. A lot of people have been talking. They're putting some money on this or not. Like, what is it going to be? And actually, Shadur Sanders.
Shadur. Well, they just signed another quarterback too.
Yeah.
So
that's the Brown Town is Jesus.
Huntley.
How many quarterbacks can they sign? They could field half of their offense with quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, technically 3 of their quarterbacks are out on injury, technically. Like, right, Shador will probably play, but he's technically injured. Same with Dylan Gabriel. Same with Kenny Pickett, but Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett's he's coming close to not even making the cut on the team, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there's going to be someone not making the cut. That's a 53-man roster, and you got to...
I sure hope that they cut some of those QBs. They've got some weight there.
They do. But we're going to see, I still have hope in them, but we're going to see Anthony Richardson start the preseason opener. So the coach announced he's going to play a quarter and a half, and then he's going to hand it to Daniel Jones and see how that goes.
Please, AR, come on. Do your thing, man. Come on. Get in the groove. I've got too many cards waiting on you.
Dude, I have that. I'm serious. I'm holding on. Come on, AR. You got Tyler Warren to throw to. Come on, baby. Let's see this. So we'll see how he gets in his own skin, and he could come off of a slump to a good season. Because shoot, you have several quarterbacks who do that over and over. So we'll see. And so moving into 15 on fantasy.
Well, actually, before we do that, there's some other news. I just saw these blurbs. Did you hear about the Jordan Addison getting suspended for the first 3 games?
Yeah. That was time coming.
Right.
He is suspended for the drug policy or whatnot.
Right. Substance abuse policy, whatever it is.
Substance abuse.
I don't understand these players. And the charges came down for Rashee Rice. So they haven't had any suspension yet, but it is imminent. Honestly, because he got charged and, he had community service that he has to serve 30 hours within the year. It's so weak.
That's it.
Yeah, it's so weak. But
what was his charge?
I don't know. I'm not sure how much money they paid out for this. I'm only making assumptions. Obviously, I didn't read any news about it, so that is completely my assumption that there was some finagle in there. But I tell you what, he's got some, and I say community service. He does have jail time, and it's 30 hours or something like that, or 30 days. He has to serve, not in consecutive order, just
so
within
he gets to
the
go
year.
Hang out for the weekend.
Like, hey, peace, guys. I'm going to go out and hang out myself for a little bit. I'll be back tomorrow. Like, seriously?
It's amazing seriously, though, it's like the judicial system is supposed to be fair and just, except if you have money
Right.
or
And it's like,
clout.
yo, hardest time ever, man. Yesterday served a day. A day.
Yeah, I got 30 more of those for the next.
I got
No,
cred
I
though.
got to do it within a year. Street cred.
I mean, that's sad. Come on. That's a joke. I don't even know why they actually hand that sentence down. But anyway, so now we're waiting the NFL on their ruling on that. So that puts the Chiefs up. I mean, that's one very key factor in their offense, but it's okay. We've got a lot of others. So now moving on to our new segment, 15 on fantasy.
15 on fantasy.
Okay, perfect timing because here we are at 15. Perfect time, right?
Yep. And we are covering.
We're doing today kickers and defense.
That's right.
What do you want to start with?
The ones that everyone goes first. I'm going to draft a kicker.
Heavy research on the kickers, right? So, number one, when are you drafting a kicker?
When do I draft a kicker?
I know when you.
When
do you draft a kicker?
Last.
Yeah, you play the same ball I do. I draft them last, and my thought process behind that is simply that I normally add
week
drop,
week
to week change. It's I
mean, you can have in all fairness, if I was to draft personally, and I know anyone who's playing in our league, if you see this, whatever,
right,
go ahead and take them. I dare you. Take them before. You might want to take them in 5th round or 4th round because I'm going to go gunning for them. But if you want a reliable kicker that has been reliable year after year and gets points over and over, it's going to be Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker is one of those just reliable, along with Brandon Aubrey. I mean, so you got a handful like Dallas kicker and, you got the Baltimore guy. It's just
timeout though. You just mentioned Tucker. So do you know he's suspended until week 11?
No.
Okay. He had the worst year last year. His worst year. He's got a 10-game suspension.
This coming up next year?
Yep. First 10 weeks in the regular season, he's violated the personal conduct. Dude, have you not read about the Justin Tucker stuff?
No, I haven't.
He was diddling his thing or showing his wang somewhere. Yeah, what is it with players not being able to keep them hands into themselves? No means no. Real. So, yeah, he's, I would avoid him. Or actually take him.
Take him. When did that happen, by the way?
Oh, it was back in 2024, I think.
So now he's just finally being charged with it and everything.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't believe I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it was some off-field stuff. Basically, some allegations there. I didn't look into it, so this is just from what I saw on the buzz. I just saw it pop up, but he is suspended and comes back week 11. The Ravens are looking at cutting him anyway. They drafted Tyler Loop, 6th round.
Well, I mean, Tyler Loop is going to replace Justin Tucker, obviously.
Right. So, yeah, I would avoid Tucker. And Tyler Loop is supposed to be a pretty good leg. So
is he?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Tyler Loop is supposed to be
what? I just pulled it up and it looks like it is that they are replacing him. So that's kind of funny. I didn't even know that. But kickers, that's how much I know about kickers or care about kickers. Like really,
right.
That's how much
this goes to show the significance here. Now with the projections, right, for your season, for the projections.
Aubrey's still, I mean, he's still up there, number one. Like I'm just
absolutely. I agree with that statement. And I'll just tell you the separation of kickers from the worst to the best, the separation is literally 35 points.
Really?
Yeah. You can get that in a game. So
yeah, I know
it's so all over the board. This is why I'm up and down with kickers. I never have the same kicker. Huh?
That's my go-to. I add and drop, and it all depends on the game that they're playing. If I feel like, they're going to be, and this is just a shot in the dark. If it's a heavy defense and I think that they're going to go, be stopped a lot, then I'm going to a kicker. Or vice versa. If they're going to score a lot, I'm going to go to a kicker. So,
right. And so just so you know, in our league, we have negative points for kickers that miss extra points or field goals within a certain yardage. And I love the way it is because kickers should be penalized for missing those extra points by all means, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But added value for the defense that blocks a punt or kick Those are added values to that, right? So it just goes hand in hand. Who's got the best special teams and support for that special teams? Generally speaking, you can kind of pick up on that kicker.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, like Aubrey's great, Matt Gay, great, McLaughlin, another solid one, McManus. But from a week to week to week to week to week, it's hard to be like super consistent. I think there was one last year. Last year, what did we have? Boswell.
Yeah, Boswell for Pittsburgh is awesome.
Boswell, I mean, shoot, they weren't scoring too much, right? So we had Boswell and Aubrey was just a point separation by the two of them. And then Cameron Dicker from the Chargers.
Yeah, Dicker's going to be good too. And that's just, I mean, you can correlate that also with the quarterbacks and how much they move the ball down the field, So it's like, and now that Stafford, he's injured, isn't he? So
he is. Oh, we forgot that on the news update. Injured. That's kind of big.
Yeah, it is. We'll see how that goes. But
so anyway, with kickers, it's just they're not exciting to me.
Agreed. But if y'all plan on it in our league, I'm going to say that they're the best things that you can do, and you should draft them in 3rd or 4th round.
Definitely. Look for some of those new rookies coming up now, right?
Now, how about like
keeper?
So now, besides kickers, like you and I both do the same play on this. I mean, and I think a lot of people do. Just because you said it, the separation is 35 points. It's one solid quarterback, one solid running back, one solid, that's the difference. But something a little bit more interesting that can be really beneficial that tends to go later in the draft, which is more fun, arguably, is defense.
Defense. Moving on to the defense. Yes.
So how do you take your defense?
I've tried this multiple ways over the years, and where I focused heavily on the flex areas, the quarterbacks, and fulfilling those twice over. So my last 2 picks are always defense then kicker. However, last year they've had some stellar consistency with some of the defenses out there, like the Texans. They have a very big powerhouse coming up. I really think that they've added a lot of value there.
I was going to say they added solid cornerbacks with the rookie CJ Gardner Johnson or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
CJ Johnson. CJ Gardner Johnson.
We're going to put it together somehow.
No, I mean, that's it. It's CJ Gardner Johnson. I didn't mean to mess that up. But the rookie that they drafted, I think that's, a solid gap that they needed to fix. So Houston has always been traditionally pretty decent with defense.
Yeah.
Solid pick. So you got to think also in this defense special teams, you got to think of returners as well.
Right.
So, you get those returns. So blocked punts, blocked kicks, but returning him back from a kicking, like I wish Devin Hester was still playing when he ran in one season the 2 over 100-yard touchdowns from kicking. I mean, that was I think that year that he did that was Chicago was just a powerhouse on defense that time. Yeah. And, now looking at defenses, I probably like Broncos the best personally. That's just one of my picks. And I think a lot of people are analyzing Denver really filled they really did some good stuff.
Denver is actually looking more and more like a Super Bowl caliber team. How they're putting this together, they have that potential. Now, granted, they have to get past the Chiefs. Good luck. We like that opportunity. Bo Nix, we're going to see his development. So, but defense-wise, they've always been one of the tops, honestly, in the past few years.
The draft really helped them. They're moving a lot of players around. They're filling a lot of the gaps. Denver looks like they can have a decent run at the Super Bowl. They were the top defense.
So this goes to support my claim. Like they're not just moving up, they are up. They've been on top for a few years for their defense. Their offense has struggles, and that's where they're trying to fill those gaps, which is why they're becoming more and more potentially a Super Bowl caliber team. And then, let's not forget the Eagles, right? The Eagles defense was nasty.
Yeah, the Eagles is pretty consistent.
Right. And
speaking of consistency, Baltimore is also. Baltimore is over and over consistent. They've been pretty decent one for a few years now. So,
Right.
I mean,
And so you've got the Vikings as well. Vikings have been solid. So right now, if like you're on the clock right now, you're drafting a defense. Like chances of you getting the top defense. I mean, in our league, I'm anticipating a defense going by round 9, and that's a fun thing to say. Yeah,
I think
I guarantee.
I personally think that someone knowing who we're playing with, I mean, could take them earlier because I mean the defense has significant pull.
It
I
does.
would say
It does.
so.
It has more
I see
consistency.
them going on like round 8 or 7.
I think there's a couple people that like to fill the spots 1-1-1-1-1-1 and then go to backup, right? So
Sure.
then once they do that, then they look at the defense. But I think, if you have the opportunity of taking the Broncos top pick early on, I mean, they have a pretty big gap from last year to the next one, which is the Eagles. I mean, just one team outscoring by 20 points is the next one with the Eagles. And then it trickles down to, Eagles and Vikings were back and forth, and the Steelers were up there too.
The Steelers are going to be up there. I mean, I think they're really strong in the defense right now. Really strong in the defense.
So
you got your handful, right? I'd say Broncos, Eagles, Steelers, Ravens, and Bills and Lions. I think those are some solid ones right there.
Lions, yeah. And honestly, if I had to say what my top pick, so first 5 picks, if I was to go out there and do it, it would be the Texans, Ravens, then Broncos, then Eagles, then Vikings.
And I would say Texans that's my personal thought. Texans are down further. I think they're losing morale right now. I just don't like the way that they're going.
I mean, their offense has not been together. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Stroud, but he hasn't been able to. Last year was just an off year. I mean, I can't really put my finger on it.
Especially with having Nico Collins. I mean, Jesus, come on, man. You can connect with that, but what else? How much depth do you have? But without like a fancy offense, sometimes that defense gets a little lackluster because they get tired. They're always on the field. They're wearing out. So you got to have a very balanced team, which is where I'm going to see. We're going to see how Steelers do, because I mean, Aaron Rodgers has already been consistent on being able to throw the rock. He's going to be able to move it. They got some targets. They got some, transitions that's going on. So if they can stay on the field and you have a balance back and forth with, the defense is going to shine. If the offense can't get it completed and Aaron Rodgers is washed up, please, then you're going to wear out the defense and it's going to overwork them. And they're eventually going to fall flat. So, you got Broncos that's going to have a balanced team. I think that's where they're going to edge. That's why, they're at the top, not just because of their consistency, but I think that their offense is a strong upcoming with Bo, Mims, and a handful of, the other guys that they just have the depth. And of course, Eagles. Eagles are,
the Eagles.
The Eagles.
Can't forget them. So there we go. That's our 15 minutes of fantasy. 15 on fantasy right 15 there for the kickers and the defense. It's a pretty unexciting round for those.
That's right.
But hey,
it is.
Where we stand on it. We're probably drafting them last simply to plug in and then rotate each week, unless you actually snag one of the top defenses, the top 5.
Yeah, if you're top, I'd even go as much as saying top 3. That's it. If you're not in the top 3, don't draft. Wait to the end.
Just wait.
That's exactly how I do it. If it's not 1, 2, or 3, then wait.
Yeah.
But so next week though we will cover the running backs and receivers.
Right. But for now,
cool.
We just want to mention out there, everyone. Hey, we want to see some comments. We want to know what you guys are listening to or want to listen to. Right now, we're just kind of pulling things out of the pocket and just going with it. And we're glad for you folks that make it back and watch a few other things about us. But let us know what you want to hear. We want to hear it. Send us an email. Jason@oddlydodd.com or Joshua at oddlydodd.com.
Yeah, send it. Let us know. Or just interact in the on the posts. You just leave a comment. We'll see it. I promise, because there's not many.
Yeah.
So we will see it.
That's all right. Hey, Jeff, we see you, buddy. We love it. Thank you for the comments and likes.
Jeff.
We appreciate you. So all you people out there, like it if you care to hear more about it. But at any rate, Also, a little update on our marketing campaign here that we're going to try and keep our website going, and it's still working on
Yep.
that. I am not a web developer, let me tell you that much, and it is
Oh.
some jargon that I just do not know. So I'm
Mm.
impatiently or really impatiently trying to get this thing running. It's going to look a little
Yeah.
rough, I'll be honest. Full disclosure.
Yeah.
However, if you care to venture over to eBay just to check out some of the stuff that we have out there, even if you're curious at some of the cards, some of the comics, some of the bric-a-brac that we've got posted out there, please come take a check and look at see what we've got. Also, this week has been this past weekend started the largest card trading event in the world.
Yeah, in the world.
Yeah, it's the largest trading event in the world. Trading cards in the world, and it's in Chicago. And our friends over at the Triangle Area Sports Cards, they actually they drove to Chicago. They caravanned up to. They drove because their thought on that was we're going to drive just in case we have to buy that much stuff and have to drive it back. Like, Adam, go get it, baby.
Okay.
Go get it. So that's cool. That's got to be fun. I want to plan.
I know it's good.
Honestly, going to plan on us going next year. My buddy Chris and I, I hope you're watching. We were talking about this. Chris in the neighborhood, not Croy. Love you too, buddy. But, and beautiful Bronco, by the way. I'm going to see that. No, but Chris and I, we want to put a pin in that and actually try and go next year. And I know that you would love to join as well and maybe make it a thing. That could be a cool event just to check out. I also want to get over there and check out all the new cars that they got because they've pulled some really cool things. So that's some cool stuff.
Do they do breaks there and stuff? I'm sure
they do everything and anything.
They have
honestly. I am not familiar. I'm gonna get a full update from Adam on everything that they have. So and all the things they interacted with. But yeah, and then working on some different merchandise, right? So I've heard a lot of requests for hats. I'm trying to make a hat and get those things ordered and done. So we want to get some stuff out there. We like to see them skulls places. So at any rate, we've got
we got some merch. If you wanted to order shirts, or anything like that, you can always see it on Oddly Dodd. I have it on my Facebook at Oddly Dodd. Okay. So if you go to Facebook, it's at the top pin. There's a website you can go to and get some swag. Yeah.
Leave a comment. Just say, hey, leave a comment in the video. Yeah. I want a shirt. I want a hat. I want this.
Yeah. Let us know. I'll send you a link.
Croy, whatever it is. And I know you're probably telling yourself, like, dude, I just sent you a text. I know it. I see that. He's like, hats? ? So I'm working on that, I swear.
And the last event, though, I did want to announce, too, which I wish I could go to, but I'm going to be busy this football season. But the last one is the Magic Con. It's in Atlanta. Yes. I've been seeing a lot of advertisement on that. It's September 26th through that weekend of the 26th and 28th, 27th, 28th. Yep, it's in Atlanta. So that's always fun.
That's my territory. I might make a plan to be in Atlanta at that time
for Magic Con. Yeah,
I very well might do that. Actually, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally. So, and I've been playing a lot lately, trying to craft them decks.
So have I. I mean, it's tough part, right? I'm still learning.
So our next segment.
We wanted to get into the main segment here.
That's right. Today's topic is really about parallels, the parallel universe.
Yeah, right.
Oh my gosh.
This was where you could get lost.
It really is. I mean, honestly, I was talking with my buddy, again, Chris, same guy in the neighborhood, who we were looking at different card sets. Now, I will give Panini a big applaud on this. And maybe it's just because we've been collecting Panini specific to football. Now, I have not followed their baseball or basketball a little bit. We've picked up some of those. However, from optics to prisms to scores to each of the different sets, what you're going to, the parallels. If you got a prism, you know what that is. It's a prism. A prism card is better than the base version of the card. And so just so everyone knows, you have your base set, right? That's your standard set, nothing special. From the base set, they have the next level up of that is a prism. And the prism is basically the shiny, it's almost holographic. And with Panini's sets, it's pretty standard across the board. So it makes it easy to identify, all except for some of the older mosaics, I will say. It was really hard to see some of the mosaics because they actually didn't have the prism noted on it. You had to actually look to see for that sheen, for that holographic shine.
Yeah.
So sometimes it would be missed.
And
So
it's
that was a little
tough.
frustrating. But outside of that, you have the set that has special parallels. So for Mosaic, they did, the Peacocks in the Genesis, or in Prisms, you had the White Knights in the Super Refractors. Or no, I'm sorry, now I'm getting the tops. But then you had the vinyls, the gold
real
vinyls.
Quick, if it's fair to say, just to understand the difference, if it's now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but is it fair to say that Panini has Prism when it's a hollow or whatever, and Topps has Refractor?
Correct. Those are the comparable, right? So the Refractor is known for Topps. The Prism is known for Panini. Thank you for bringing that up. Because I've been focusing on Panini. And, if I told you that I had a cracked ice, a green cracked ice, that has a number to it, or a blue cracked ice has a number, but a red or an orange doesn't typically ever have it. Or a purple cracked ice will be numbered, serialized, but it all looks, you could pick it out. It's a purple, blue, it's a cracked ice, is cracked ice, or a purple shock, or and I can keep going on, the lasers. I'm sure there's tons of
Disco.
them. Right. The discos, the scopes.
Print and
right.
Yep.
Which
Scopes.
you have to be careful. The disco and the no huddles look so similar when you put those side by side. So those are also, it gets a little hard to detect which one's which. You have to look at the number and what set's out of, because they have the no huddle set. They all come with that prism look. And then they have the disco inserts. Typically, the base color would be different from the disco for the no huddle. At any rate, this is where it gets really important to go look at the card sets and the checklists. But not just that, you got to go look online. And there are some things on eBay that are mislabeled because people are doing their best to kind of list something as it is. But it is still difficult to really know, which if you learn this well, you can trip up over some good finds on people that don't know what they're labeling and realize what happened to you. You had you thought it was a green.
Me,
what was
I
it,
thought it was
optic?
Anthony Richardson. It was a teal.
It was not the
Optic.
green. It was teal. Just a subtle little difference at that lighter green, and which is much, it's much more uncommon. And so it's worth more. It's a short print. The teals are actually the short print. And so that's Panini. Topps, as I'm getting into Topps now more and more, since I'm anticipating this new Topps run of NFL once they start licensing it, this is getting much harder to decipher, honestly, between the Topps. I mean, so the refractor is a refractor. So you can find that. It even says on the back of the card, refractor. But depending on the set, they've got so many different refractors, between the blue refractor, the sky blue, the pink. Then they also have lavas, which Panini had lavas, but the difference, they look different. So it's not the same thing. From one set, they might have ray waves and mini diamonds. They'll have black prisms, and then the super refractors should be a 1 of 1, right? For theirs, which is the like match would be gold vinyl for prisms, which would be a 1 of 1, right?
Or the nebula. So it's the gold vinyl nebula, the blacks.
Right. And then you had the Pandoras. Pandoras, you can typically grow to know that those are probably 1 of 25s. That's a Pandora. Depending on the set, also depending on the sport, I've found.
Yes.
Sometimes the sport, it's a different number sequence. So Topps Finest, you had the Topps Finest, you had the different variations for the black refractor, the orange refractor. Then you had the fusions, and then the super refractor, the orange waves, the red waves, the green waves. They had so many different things there. And then they introduced these things called oil spill geometric. And that's really, I've tried doing my research on this, and I don't have anything to share with you yet. I have an oil spill. I just don't know which oil spill it is. And trying to list these things, oil spills are typically numbered, but when you look at the different sets, the numbers are different from one set to the next. So again, it's difficult. And
Yeah.
then
And the
there's
checklists are even like difficult for the most part. I mean, like I know that it's just great. And what I like using is Beckett.com for checklists. It gives a nice little breakdown of what to expect in that box. Like even Panini has like from select to, optic to prism. They like select is pretty, they use like snake skin, zebra print, elephant print, it's like,
that's right.
and tie dye. Whereas, they even have like a dragon scale.
Yeah.
It's a one of
Which
one
they
too.
have dragon scale and then they have snake skin. That's when it
Which is
got
hard.
confusing, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
the dragon scale was, which one was black? I can't remember. One's green,
The
one's
dragon
black.
scale.
I can't remember
Dragon
which one's
scale, I think, is black.
right. And so this is
So,
where research is so important.
yep.
So then there's another card manufacturer that some people like to play with and dabble, which is Wild Card. Now, I will warn all of you people out there about Wild Card. They have some fun cards. They have
They
some
are fun.
very good pricing on introductory, hobby packs that you can get some good cards.
Yeah, true story.
But it is insane to try and figure out all the different one of ones. Like they have, most of their cards are short numbered. However, it is super misleading because a one of one, a one of three, a one of five feels like it should be something amazing. But I will tell you, like, just looking at the prehistoric set, right? The one card that everyone likes to go after is the Mammoth, which is an awesome card. I love the Mammoth card, and I want a Mammoth card. I don't care what it is. I mean, I'd prefer to have a Kansas City Mammoth. That way I could check that off my list. But it is a one of one card. And the one of one Mammoth, however, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 8 parallels of this, right? From purple, green, blue, bronze, gold, black, white, and rainbow. From the different parallels, that's not counting the color match. So each team has a color match parallel as well, which is actually sick. The Mammoth is in the colors of the team, which I do love. That's the one that I want. And that's actually the best card that you can get is the color match auto of the Mammoth of said player. So of those color matches, so you have 8 of them, but then for each 8, you have 10 different types of foils. So that means you can have a purple one of one, or a purple rainbow foil one of one, or a purple lava foil one of one. So as you can see, now it grows. So that one of one just turned into 80 different cards. So it's not really a true one of one, except that match. And that's how Wild Card is. You might have a one of one only in that color, but there's still 50 other cards just like it. So it's super misleading. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I tried to have a more complete segment to show you all the differences. And then when I started doing my research, I see why you can't do this is it's so convoluted and it's hard to tell, which when it looks like kind of cool, different variation, then it's like, oh, cool. Like this must be worth something, when now I realize it's actually not. So, and those are parallels. So that's base cards, parallels. You also have parallels of the inserts, but inserts are a different discussion, right? So inserts, you have just a unique, different card with some sort of feature to it. Some of them are short, some of them are not. But that'll be a different segment for a different day.
Yeah, that's
I will
a good
say
idea,
also,
because you can get lost in that too.
you can. Now, there is one cool thing with Wild Card that they used to do, and I don't know why they don't do it anymore. I went back to look at some of their older cards and their older, hobby boxes and stuff. They did some great card sets where they actually had a picture next to the parallel. And that is the most helpful checklist I've ever seen, where it shows like your base card. I think in this year was a Trevor Lawrence year. So they showed rookie Trevor Lawrence, but then they showed the rookie Trevor Lawrence parallel platinum, yellow, orange, pink, green, red, blue, all of those in their color. And then they go down to the double swirls. Then they go to the triple swirls. And then they go, and they showed each one to where you can actually click on that player or that card and see all the variations. That's super helpful. Why don't you guys do this anymore? Why doesn't anybody, and I know it takes a lot of work, but I imagine the design of these cards comes out before the print and manufacturing. So why don't you put this on some platform for a checklist to make it easier? Please help us out
I
there,
mean,
manufacturers. Panini Tops, I know you're not listening, but I hope you do listen at some point. Let's make this easier.
just want to make sure you double check and triple check because I mean, we don't know everything. We have a good depth of knowledge about stuff and know how
Yeah.
to research more importantly.
Yeah.
But we're here to help wherever we can.
A side note, if you have any questions about the cards that you have, send me a picture, send us a picture, email us, type
Yes,
it in the
that's right.
text. Hey, what is this? Leave us a message. But what is, what,
What's in the box?
what's in the box? What's in the
What's in
box?
the box?
What's in the box?
So this week I didn't have a box because I got stuff that was they were too
What?
big to fit in a box.
They.
But I'm pulling them out, and you've seen them the whole time. They're sitting right here in my office. That's a mess. But they're right next to me.
Okay.
So this week,
Okay. Those aren't just more stuff you decide to pack into that room and
I know, right? It
clutter
looks
it
pretty
up
messy.
some more.
It's pretty stupid. No, it's not. These are actually that's my what's in the box that I had to set right there because it does not fit in a box. What's in the box?
What's in
But it is something that I really that's what I went to school for. Right? Is art.
Right. Okay.
And
Art. Oh, so that's in the
everything
box.
that's in the box. I mean, you can see
Well,
them, can't you? Just
no box.
look.
Well, I guess they're box like.
They were there the whole time. Yeah, they're boxy, right?
Okay.
But
Yeah. All right.
this
Let's
is
see what
where-
we got. What is in the box then? Here, what do we have? What kind of art are we talking about? Are we just talking about, your local artist that sells way overpriced paintings in the bathroom of a Starbucks? That
no,
Where do they sell those things?
no, that is interesting. They're trying to really make their way through the art world. And the one thing that I've always hated about the art world, even in it, as long as I have been, the one thing I hated is so starchy and so stuck up and so snooty that it's just like if it doesn't pass the smell test for, you know, all the professionals in the industry of whoever the blah 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 is, it's just if it doesn't make it through there, then oftentimes it goes unnoticed.
Right.
Unless you do certain unconventional things that artists are usually shying away from, like this one, Thomas Kincaid.
Oh,
So,
Kincaid. All right.
yeah, Thomas Kincaid was a little unconventional on one behalf. He had outlet stores in malls
Yeah.
where you can actually go get his oil paintings that he would touch up personally on the high level. He would basically have a letter of authenticity on every single one of his, and he's a newer aged. He's not like like the Monets or not back in the day of historic art, but he's more of your strip mall or mall art. If like
No, I actually went through a Kincaid exhibit down in Key West. It was right next to the Wyland exhibit, who are a modern day painter artists,
Right.
But I will say the one thing about Kincaid that I thought was absolutely incredible. He had this exhibit down in Key West. I could see that there. And down in Key West, they had the painting where the series of these paintings, they were very dark because they're supposed to be in the dark. However, he'd have one light on the outside of these things where the light that shined just right on it made it look like the painting was glowing, or that light in the painting was glowing. And I don't know how he did that, but it was incredible.
Yep. So that's exactly where his shtick is, actually. So that's how it's a Thomas Kincaid painting, and that's also the highlight of how he does his special paint and stuff like that in the light and the lighting effect. Those are usually hand touched by him personally, even though a lot of his prints, like either lithographs or reprints or whatnot, but still there's levels of his paintings. But usually, they're a couple $100 usually minimum, like you can clearly tell in things that I do when I'm looking for them. I'll take off the frame, I'll open the back, but so you'll know if it's a poster. But this for Thomas Kincaid, and a lot of different artists will do this. So they'll have a letter of authenticity and they'll number it too. They'll sign it, or you'll see it's very clearly marked. And I got two of these. And if you have a serial number and it's, gives the history on it, these go, some Thomas Kincaid paintings can go upwards of like $20,000-$30,000. Yeah. So, I mean, those are clear signs.
$20,000.
No. So I got that at a like a Restore or a Goodwill.
Really?
$20
Wow.
bucks.
$20. All right. So not
Yeah, this is
20,000, but 20.
20. That's right. So
That's a good bargain.
this is where you can really find those gems depending on the area that you're at. You can really have like the people who have estate sales or donates, the people who had paintings passed down from generation to generation and, give it up for that painting's ugly. I don't really want it. Or, and then you
Mhm.
have like, you end up getting rid of it because like, I'm not going to hang this, but it's just another piece of history, a Norman Rockwell painting. So,
Wow.
Norman Rockwell, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah, I know him.
it's a special piece. Again, you have this is someone already took, the back off of this to check it. It
Oh,
looks
look at
like,
that. Okay.
but it's got the print on it, and you could tell clearly how old this thing is. But people don't even know. Like, it's just really a boring painting. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But it's Norman Rockwell, classic piece of Americana. So you can take the frame off. I find them at these places like the Restore or Goodwill and places like that where I don't have it now because I sold it, but it was a lithograph and it's like a pop artist and a Patrick Nagel. And if you've ever seen or been in like a high-end hair salon anytime in the 90s, definitely the 80s,
Nice.
anytime in the 90s, early 2000s, then you'll see the iconic pop art
Yeah.
of Patrick Nagel.
Okay.
And it's like, it's that classic lady who's holding her,
Yep. Yep.
I don't know, her collar like this. Anyway, so, got that thing for like, I dropped the frame and I broke it in the store because I was trying to take the back off to see if it was legit. Well, it was legit, but I broke it. And then when I went to buy it, she discounted it from like $25 to $15 because it was broken. And I was like, in all
You
fairness,
broke it.
I broke it. And I told her that. And she's like, oh, it's okay. And ended up going for like $1,500.
I'm sorry, what? You bought it
Yeah.
for 15 and sold it for 1,500?
Boom. Yep. So it's a 10,000% increase, I think, something like that.
Holy wow. That's
Anyway,
wild
so,
find.
but it was legit.
Okay.
And I got this notes from actually a guy who I built a house for, who
Mhm.
was an art professor at Duke, and that's what he just does as a hustle. And he was dropping names like Picasso and Monet and like some really high
Hmm.
end and I'm just listening to him as I'm just getting to know him, and I'm like, okay, sure. Lo and
Right.
behold, I went over to his house, and I'll be damned if it wasn't the lithograph of Don Quixote, Pablo Picasso's Don Quixote on the wall. And I was like, oh, and he had it appraised. And he bought that thing, he said, at a estate sale in Durham. And he got it for $25.
Wow.
And it's an original Picasso. And I can't remember what it's appraised at, but if you just Don Quixote, Pablo Picasso, he's got that. And
Wow.
so oftentimes for lithographs, they can be the hard ones to find, especially on Picassos, which
Mhm.
you find more often than you think. They are way more relevant in what a lithograph oftentimes is oftentimes it's a concept of what your main piece wants to be. And so oftentimes you'll do these drawings, watercolors, sketches, doing something and then numbering them. So you
Yeah.
can also quickly reprint the same print over and over, like, upwards of 200, 500, whatever. And so they can put them out for sale.
Yeah.
And depending on the collection it is, they can go for a lot, especially when you have something like a Picasso.
Absolutely.
And then my prized piece is right here. And Brandy got this for me. And I cherish this thing. And she paid a pretty penny because she got it from a dealer. And this is my Salvador Dali, my favorite painter of all
Oh,
time.
you've got an actual Dali painting.
An actual Dali, autographed and numbered, a real one. And this is,
Wow.
yeah, dude. So that's an actual Dali. And those who don't know who Salvador Dali is, first off, you should. But
Oh yeah. Come on.
the
Definitely
abstract
one of
art.
my favorite artists as well. Has
It's
been
the
since
abstract guy.
yeah.
And he's the dude with the real long pencil-tin mustache that's just
Yep.
nice and curly. And everyone knows the clocks that are on a table that
The
dripping
melting
off the
clocks.
table.
Yeah.
the melting clocks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this one here is called Triumphant Angel. And so, and it's based off of his, like some of his sculptures that he did was the visions of angels
Oh,
or
yeah.
vision of angel sculpture. So he based it off of that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Salvador Dali, my absolute favorite. So,
Yeah.
but
He is
that's what's in the
incredible.
box today.
I know you've been wanting to do an art segment for a little bit, and
I
I know
have.
we've kind of missed on it. I think that everything that we're doing right now is actually art is the influence behind it all. If you think about it,
Before
like cards,
everything. Yeah.
Magic, Pokemon, it's all artist inspired. That's what makes it fun to collect these things. Even
Mm-hmm.
the sports cards from year to year to year, the design, that goes into that's art, and then those inserts that you have, the mangas and the downtowns, those are all art pieces. This is appropriate. The jumbo downtown Travis
Oh,
Kelsey.
that's so cool. Yeah.
Isn't it cool? The downtown
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey to put that together. Now, it's obviously not a picture. Somebody did this artwork, but that's what the
Yeah.
downtowns look like. Those are so fun. I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and do this. Look at this. So I've started collecting art from concerts. And think about the art that's inspired with all of these things, whether it's local artists. That's where some of these bands, they do the local art based on where they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, like some of them, I always focus on some of those that actually are signed and autographed. If you look at the Kurt Cobain, that was from one of the events I went to, where that's it's autographed by the artist, but it takes the iconic musicians, and he had a ton of these different things where he painted these, and he really just added that color pop to those iconic pictures. I think you remember that picture right there from Kurt.
Oh, yeah.
Next to that was a local artist here in Raleigh, where you see Jimi Hendrix there. And that's a really cool painting autographed by the artist. But what she did, that is all done. If you get here, I'm going to get real close if I can. That painting is done, or that picture is done by all the lyrics in his songs. So all of those lines that you see, the shading, she just wrote closer together to make it come together as that picture of that iconic Jimi Hendrix picture. It's incredible. So you look really close, you can see the lyrics of the songs.
Yeah.
And
see, this is where
Biggie Big. On this side you got Citizen Cope. I got that from there way back in the day when they came to Raleigh. But all this artwork, and that Freddie Mercury right there was a painting I got from down in Dominican Republic, when the artist that was doing this, he painted that upside down, and he was just going to town slinging paint on a thing. And then he turned it right side up, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's Freddie Mercury. I love the art piece. Everything that we do, everything that we collect,
it's art,
has an art aspect to it.
It's all
it's very subjective, but I love art.
Completely subjective.
But yeah, great segment, great artwork you got there. That's awesome.
Man, I love it.
That's
I got
exciting.
a whole bunch more, but I just want to bring out a few key pieces. Other than that, man, moving on, and we'll have some good stuff next week on the 15 on fantasy. And then as far as, our coverage for next week, what we got?
That's right. So next week, we appreciate you guys coming out and listening to us. Like I said, we want to hear your comments. We want to see some likes. We want to hear more from you. We want some interaction here. We're asking for that interaction. We want to hear it. Next week, we're going to go back into the 15 on fantasy. And next week, it's the flex people. So it's all the running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends that we have there. All right. Hopefully, we'll have some more updates with our website and merchandise. But then, we're going to develop something for a main topic, I'll be honest, right now. Hopefully, we'll hear a few things. But yeah, we'll come up with something good for next week. For right now, we will hope to see you then.
Cool. Thanks for signing in, guys.
All right.
Cool.
Until next time.